Great. I've just done a full intro muted. Brilliant. And didn't realise that I didn't have the comments on straight away, so only just noticed. So thank you, Imi. Great start. This is why I should not miss a week. I was saying how it's good to be back. And then I was muted. Oh, well. We're only a year into this. You'd think I'd know what I was doing. Anyway, hope everyone is well. Good to see you. Michael, first in the comments. Hey, GG, how you doing? Donna, great to see you. Now then, Amy, lovely to see you as always. Maggie, there's a few in the comments. Good. Now then, Steve, hope everyone's doing well. So yeah, as I was saying, I had last week off, so I appreciate you guys being all right with that. But it was a slight mix-up with the act. And my dad's just texted me saying no sound. Still no sound? Or is this just... Am I talking to myself still? I think we've got sound. I think my dad was just late to telling me. So, oh, now he's texting me again. Okay, now he says. Right, okay, my dad says we're all right. It's fine. Jeez, Dad, I'm trying to do a live. I'm only kidding. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey Trisha, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming over. That clip that you and Al put up the other day of you guys singing was absolutely amazing. Really great work. The harmony was top notch. I'm excited to see what you guys come out with. We should get you back on the show as is it Safe Haven? I can't remember. I'm really, apologies. I'm not 100% that's the name of the project. But I'd love to have you guys back on. So yeah, tonight I've got Josh from Cultures with us. And we're going to be talking all things music, and yeah, they've got new music coming out, and I had the pleasure of hearing it as a world exclusive. So they sent over the track, and it's a banger. So you guys are in for a treat. Right, I have not had much time to pick my guitar up recently, so I'm going to try rattle through a song. I promise new music is coming. I'm just doing a lot at the moment. And if your heart's in the right place, then your time is now. People say we can do all kinds of things, but if your life's gone the wrong way, it's time to turn it around. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, don't you think? Nothing in this life will come free. You get all what you put in something. Something's got to give. Do you remember when you were young? Did you think that you know something more? 'Cause I know that I did. We are so strong. We are still holding on. This is what I was talking about, Josh. And if your life's gone the wrong way, it's time to turn it around. Hindsight is a beautiful thing. If your life's gone the wrong way, it's time to turn it around. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, don't you think? Nothing in this life will come free. You get what you put in. Something's got to give. Do you remember when you were young? strong. Eek. Yeah, that was a thing. Anyways, not sure I've said hello to Dawn yet. Hi, Dawn. Who else is here? We can tell I'm joking. Ow! Still need to check out your songs, Imi. I definitely will do it. I've got the SoundCloud link. I'm excited to listen to it. In fact, I might listen to it in the car tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll check that out. Right. I'm going to jump into the show and introduce you to my guest. We've got Josh from Cultures here. And, yeah, he's going to play some tunes for us. Right, here we go. Yo, how's it going?
Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
Not too bad. It literally, like, we were talking about fluffing it and playing not being rehearsed and all that sort of shit. And it was a car crash.
It was still beautiful, honestly.
Thank you,
It was
man.
still really good, to be fair.
I'll take it.
I could tell from your face. And
I was just like, oh, crap.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was great.
Thank you, man. Right, I'll pay you later for that compliment. Cheers, dude.
It's
So, how have you been? How's things? It's been a while since I've spoke to you guys, and obviously the other guys out here tonight. We had Tom with us last time. There's the two of you that did it. So if people want to check out that other video, there's another one on the channel where both you and Tom joined us for the show. But it's lovely to have you. And but yeah, how have you been doing? All right.
I've been all right. Yeah, it's a shame Tom can't join us because he always has some ridiculous things to add to conversations like this. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, even though I'm on my own. And yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing as well as anyone, I think. It's a weird time, isn't it? Getting back.
Yeah, it's still a weird time. Yeah, it's
I know.
still weird, isn't it? I can't believe we're here doing this still. Like, when you think about how long time has been since we initially started talking about lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Tom's listening. He's just chimed in the comments. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tom, how's it doing? How's it going?
Cool.
But yeah, you're coping well. You're doing all right. You've been really creative at the moment, and you've been putting out a lot of content. You're going to be starting to release new music and that kind of stuff. So have you been doing a lot of writing throughout the lockdown period, and how have you been finding that, if you have?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot else we could have done, really, without being able to gig when you're in a band. Like, it's all you want to do. You want to play your stuff live, and
yeah,
we've done a few online bits, obviously your show and other things. But yeah, it's either that or you write and you record stuff. So we've been doing a lot of that. It's been good fun. We've been doing a lot of self-recording and learning how to do all that stuff, which has been a good project, because like it's nice to have a project to get stuck into, a new skill to learn, and
definitely, man.
And yeah, we've been recording ourselves a lot, just kind of demo stuff, and then taking it in the studio and doing that properly whenever we've had like a window of restrictions allowing it. We've been sort of nipping in, record a couple of songs, and then come back out. But yeah, it's been good fun.
So when it comes to the sort of the bare bones of the song at this stage, like as you say, you kind of like delving into a little bit of like recording and production and that kind of stuff. So do you sort of just pass a project around, or are you sort of going with an idea and just do your bit, and then, or are you kind of like finishing a song and then going, do you want to add some, or like what's your process at this stage?
It's been a bit of a mix, to be fair. We've done quite a few different songs, some of them that we already had and we knew we needed to re-record and rework, so we've had a structure to start with on the track, and then passed it around, added layers, and whenever we've been able to, we've been meeting up and sitting around one laptop rather than like sending the whole project around as much as possible. It just saves a lot of time to sit down together and say, what should we throw in?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, none of us are really like trained on the keyboard, but we can all mess around with little riffs and stuff. So that's been one of the funnest bits, is that we all have our own instruments, and no one's kind of assigned the keyboard, even though I've played the synth a few times live, and Tom has too. So we've just kind of been like, oh, I've recorded this really cool riff with some crazy settings that sound like some kind of 80s lead riff on the synth that we would never have kind of thought of before. But having this extra time at home, we've all got our own little keyboards, and it's kind of been like we've all been learning that new instrument. It's good. There's a lot more synths going into the tracks we're recording now because of it, because we end up putting down about 50 different layers. But it's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it. I mean, I don't play piano or keys or anything, but that's the joy of. I don't know if you're using Logic, but most software, you know, you can press the quantized button and it fixes everything. It's great.
It's like, oh look, you played it correctly, and I'll take your word for it.
So no, I think it's that's definitely, like, when it comes to production and producing up music, like using like MIDI and synths and stuff like that, I think it really can broaden the horizon a bit and turn it into something that you would never normally do if you just picked up the guitar kind of thing. So it's always exciting to experiment and just have a bit of fun, really, especially if you've got time to do it. Like at this stage, like you say, what else are you going to do? What, you know, you'd normally be gigging quite a lot, or you'd be, you know, rehearsals. I don't know if it's the same for you, but like for previous projects and stuff that I've been in, writing has totally changed over the years, for like more so this year and last, where we like record an idea rather than just write it and refine it in the studio, in the rehearsal space. But it used to be like that for me, where we would just like battle it out. You know, you would have a handful of chords, a bit of a melody, and you just, whoever plays the loudest kind of thing to get their say or come up with their ideas and that kind of thing. But I feel like it's much more, you know, I don't know, refined and put together when you can sit in front of a laptop and actually talk and discuss things and play it back and that kind of thing. Is that kind of the same for you? Did you previously have that kind of?
Yeah, you've literally just you've put into words exactly what I think me and Tom were saying this to each other the other day. We've spent years just being in a band. You go to a rehearsal space once a week, a couple of times a week, however often you've got time for, and half of it would be spent like playing tracks that we've had for years and practicing them, even though we've not necessarily got a gig coming up, just because that's what we're used to doing. And then it'll be, oh, I've got some nice chords, should we play with them? And then, you know, I'll loop them and I'll mess around with some vocals quietly off the side of a microphone so no one can hear me trying things out. And then James just playing on his drums and just kind of literally being like a human loop pedal until we each kind of take a step closer, or someone shouts down the mic, oh, that was a really good bass riff, keep playing that. And then, as fun as that is, and I do miss those like evenings spent doing that, and then you think, oh god, we've been in here for about 4 hours and we've kind of not really got anywhere.
You played the same 4 chords.
Yeah, exactly, for the whole time. But we have really, like you say, we've refined the process. So doing it all through Logic and going, oh, these chords are nice, you record them in 1 or 2 takes, and then you can just kind of cut stuff and you can loop it, and then you stick it on the loop and you think, I'll mess around with the vocals now, or you play with the MIDI keyboard and you put some synths down, and you think, how were we not doing this before? None of this has just come to life because of the pandemic. We've just been forced to do it, and I think there's a lot of things that we've done to get around the restrictions and still be able to make music that actually we're probably going to just keep doing forever now, as a band anyway. And I know it from speaking to people like yourself in our situation, we're all kind of doing the same thing. We're going about it a different way.
But I do think there are elements of like thrashing it out and just working out how to play a song together in that rehearsal setting. I think there are elements of that I'm going to go back to, but it's just going to be like not weekly. It'll probably be more like every other month or something. You just go, right, okay, we've got this many songs demoed and ideas, and let's just try get some of them down and then just see what happens. Because I think some amazing ideas can come out of literally just riffing and coming up with something, you know, completely off the cuff kind of thing, and not really having because for every like positive Logic gives you and recording software gives you, we can't deny there are some positives to doing it that way, because we wouldn't have done it for so long otherwise.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And it feels so good as well when the room's just kind of full of music and you just go
Yeah.
and you go and you feel yourself getting closer to what the track's going to sound like.
Yeah.
And I always say there's this weird time sometimes when you're writing a song, and often I will be playing something on guitar, Tom will be playing something on bass, and then we'll have drums and everything, but there's only like 3 instruments happening, but I'm hearing other things, and I always think, oh, is someone playing a riff? And it's either just a combination of notes that are being hit at the same time on the 2 instruments that are making something that we hadn't already thought of, or it's sort of happening in my head a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when you go, this has to be some kind of vocal coming in like that.
Mm.
And you pick your way to it through the sound. It's like a wall of sound that you like.
Yeah.
You sort of hear stuff in, and half of it's not real, but then that's how you end up actually writing the song.
I was going to say that's because if you can find those moments when recording, you can go, give me a keyboard, I've got a melody that I'm hearing that's not there, and just twinkle away at it, and then before you know it, it can actually become part of the song. That's very cool though, man. It's cool to see you sort of adapting and moving forward despite the chaos that's going on. But yeah, you've what's your plan tonight when it comes to performing? Are you playing all originals? Are you playing any covers? Are you doing new? Are you doing old? What have you got in store for us when it comes to playing these songs?
So, assuming that I remember how to, I'm going to do 3 Cultures tracks, 3 originals that we have. I was thinking kind of doing the 2 most recent releases that we have, which happen to also be the 2 most popular tracks on our Spotify. So they're the ones that are kind of, if any of our music's out there in the public consciousness, then those 2 are going to be the ones. And then we have a new single coming out at the end of the week. So we've got a release coming out on Friday, like you said, that you've got to hear, but not really anyone else has. So I'm going to play through that one as well. So they're my 3.
Great. So should we start off by having one of your tracks for now, and then we've got a couple of little segments of the show that we'll run into. But yeah, I'd love to hear a song from you if you're up for it.
I am definitely up for it. Make use of this guitar. So this one's going to be called Shake. It's already out now, so people might have heard it. If not, then yeah, it's called Shake. time, in this dead time, in this dead time. 'Cause I wanna stop and shake with you in this dead time, in this dead time. But I know these words, they won't come true in this dead time, in our lifetime. Cool. Cheers.
Love that, mate. Absolutely love that version. Because the full band version obviously has got so much energy to it. But to hear it like stripped back like that and it stand up, really fair play, man. It's really good.
Thank you very much.
So did you who was the brains behind that song then?
So weirdly, that was the first song that we wrote in the kind of recent style that we were talking about a minute ago, but it was way before the pandemic. So a couple of years ago, I was messing around on like GarageBand or something, and I was playing a bit of a bass riff, and I wrote most of the lyrics in about 10 minutes over the top of it, and I thought, this is actually a pretty good track. Like, I quite like the chorus.
That's
It had
nice.
something about it. And I had it sitting on my phone, and I'd literally just recorded it straight into my phone on GarageBand because I'd been playing with it because it was a free app.
Yeah.
And I just kind of left it for ages, didn't do anything with it. And then I guess about bit more than a year ago, because we'd played it live before all the lockdowns. So I guess we'd got it finished about a year and a bit ago, year and a quarter, something like that. And so I kind of wrote the structure of the song, the lyrics of the song, but I didn't have a guitar bit.
Yeah.
I didn't have any lead riffs or anything like that. I was just kind of following a bit of a bass riff and some automatic drummer thing. And then when we were playing it, I think it was Tom actually was like, okay, so the notes you're playing are these. If you just play them on chords, then we can pick it apart like that. So then we had chords and a bass riff, and some drums were happening. And then for the studio version, if you've heard that, there's various different riffs, there's different lead guitar bits, there's a synthesizer line in there which we hadn't really done much of before that track. So that was the first song of ours that took on that more synthy sound, and we really liked it. It was a lot of fun to play with. We played it live and it went down really, really well. We opened with it when we played at the Deaf Institute, and people were like, that first song you played was actually really good, but no one really knew what it was called. So yeah, we put it out there, and we've stuck a video out for it as well, which was a lot of fun to record. We went out to Blackpool and sort of
I can't say
ran
I've
around
seen
on the beach.
I don't think I've seen the video. What's that?
Check it out.
Oh, go check it out.
We don't promote our YouTube anywhere near enough. We don't really know how. So we make quite good videos that, like, they're a lot of fun to make, and we think they've come out looking really good. But then no one ever really sees them because we don't make a big fuss about it.
Anyone that's here listening now, please, I'll be going over and checking it out straight after this stream as well, man. But like, if you after this stream, go check out their videos on their YouTube channel. I think it's really hard to balance where to, like, what to push out in it. Like,
yeah,
personally, as an artist as well, I'm primarily pushing Spotify, and that's my main like platform that I push, despite me putting as much effort into videos as well on YouTube and stuff like that. So I know the pain, mate. Like, when you invest a lot of time into it and you're like, how do I get this out to people? You know, you've just got to. Well, actually, I was about to tell you what you need to do, but I was kind of hoping maybe you could tell me what to do, because I don't know. Like, I'm just as stuck.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can just go on your own Facebook and say,
yeah, exactly.
We made
Yeah,
a video, and like,
yeah, I did a thing.
Friends,
check it
go,
out.
Not another one. Not another share.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. But I'm pretty certain that track is on the Assembly Point Guests playlist. So if anyone wants to check that out as well, it's on there from the previous time you were on the show. So I think there will be a few people that have heard the full band version. So that was really cool, mate. I really enjoyed the stripped back version. But yeah, right, okay. I think let's do one of the segments of the show, I reckon. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do something called Top Song. I'm just going to roll an intro. Top song is essentially we want to know a bit more about your top song, which on Spotify at this stage is a song called Ghost. And essentially, we just love to hear maybe a background story, whether it be something funny about it or even like something behind the lyrics or something interesting or the recording process. You can go as wild as you like, or just tell us something about it. If there is a story to be had.
Yeah, so it's Ghost, which comes up as our top song, but I think, as we were sort of saying before, it's not our most played song. So Shake's actually had more streams.
It has, yeah. So
but we think it's probably the algorithms, right?
Potentially, I think that's what's confusing about this top song thing. I've had this a few times where the numbers aren't totally correct. So I think you've had like 14,000 streams on Ghost and then something like 21,000 on Shake. But number one is Ghost. So I just always I'm gonna just stick with it. And if that's the number one in the Spotify,
take their word for it.
I can only assume it's because it'll be creeping up to catch up to the other streaming numbers because people are probably listen to that more or whatever at this stage. But yeah. How old is that song? Was that
ancient?
Much? Is it?
It's
So that's
so old. No, in terms of the most recent release of it, it's our latest single, and it's changed a lot over the years. But in terms of like when I first sat down and wrote the song, ages ago, it was so long ago, and we never really knew what to do with it. So kind of a bit like Shake, it got written and then laid dormant for a bit. We played it live, we did a demo of it, and it never really sounded like we wanted it to. So I wrote the lyrics about, I'd been out in Manchester and a friend of mine was kind of up to no good, and I was just watching this guy and thinking, this guy's just like chucking his life away. I won't give away too many details, but like, yeah, and I just kind of, some of the lyrics are kind of more specifically about what was kind of going on, and the general mood of the song was based off a track by Bon Iver, which was called Blood Bank. So I was playing a lot of guitar that was kind of in the style of Bon Iver's first album at the time. Then he released this Blood Bank EP, and I loved that. And I was playing some sort of similar guitar, and if you hear the song, there's not really a lot of percussion, or if there is, it's just kind of like I don't know whether he's hitting a guitar or whether it's a foot pedal on a bass drum or whatever. But I loved the way that the song kind of was driven through the chords. Yeah. So the one thing that we knew going into the most recent version of it was that we really wanted the guitar chords to feel in the recorded version a bit like the vibe of that song from Blood Bank. And it was that was really all that we had. And then we kind of went our own way with it, and we found a really nice arpeggiating synthesizer, and there was all sorts of really interesting additions to the song that came right before we recorded it and in that studio time, just before we released it. And it kind of changed. It had grown gradually over a couple of years, and then we went in the studio with it and came out with something completely different. And I think the most interesting thing about going in with Ghost into the studio was how our writing process changed. So going into the studio, writing those parts, messing around with different layers, synthesizers and guitar, and kind of stripping that guitar back, adding in more vocals and thickening the song up with vocals, with some harmonies and double tracking. And we just wanted the song to feel full and finished, rather than just kind of a track where a band each play their instruments and it's like done, because that feels kind of two-dimensional. And we went in there and we threw down loads of different vocals, and I kind of pushed my vocals more than I had before, and we came out with something that we all really liked, and it was a much better song than we ever thought it was going to be, which is why we hadn't done much with it for so long. So it's an old song, but its current form is our most recent, so it's kind of our oldest and our youngest.
I think that speaks volumes for the creative, like being a musician. I don't think any of us really know how it works, because it's amazing to know that like such a slow burner like that can eventually get over the hill, and you're like, that's the way I wanted it to be. But then earlier on you were saying like Shake took, you know, a half a day or whatever it is on GarageBand and throwing ideas down, and then that was kind of the form of it, and then it kind of got brought to the table later on. But I find it fascinating. I really do. I find it amazing how one song can take you down one journey and then another can take you somewhere else, and one can happen in a few minutes and then another can happen in over the span of years. I just think it's absolutely crazy. But
Yeah.
equally,
There's no predicting it as well. Like, you write a song, or you put a few chords down, you start writing a song, you have no idea whether it's going to be done by the end of that day, and you're going to be like, this is it.
yeah.
Or if 3 years down the line, you're going to be going, that's how it should sound.
Yeah. It's like that new EP I've just put out, the last track on that EP, No Title, was actually going to be a City of Light song. And me and Connor, who I was writing with at the time, who was going to come and play bass and keys and all sorts, we basically had these chords. We started demoing it down on Logic and stuff, and we got the first verse and a bit of a chorus that I didn't think was a chorus whatsoever. And then I went into another writing session this year, and that was probably going back 2 years, that song. And when I went into a writing session on Zoom, I was like, I've got all these ideas, or a few ideas, maybe this. And he was like, that, whatever that is, I want to run with that. And I didn't think anything of it. And he really like pushed me to push that song out, which again, I think's totally crazy that the idea was years ago. The foundation of it was kind of the same as it is now. And yeah, I just find it really strange how it can take so much time and no time at all as well. It's really weird. But yeah, it's cool to have that song out as well. And, it's cool to hear you guys, you're obviously... What else I quite like as well is you went from saying, you kind of seeing how the sound's developing and stuff, and that's something that I was going through with this. Was maybe that's the reason why it didn't stick a couple of years ago, is because the song wasn't ready then. Like, it wasn't ready it needed that next level, like you were saying. So it's important to give it the time that it needs. Otherwise, you could potentially be putting out something you're not 100% about.
Yeah, you're completely right. Like, sometimes you can force a song and you can sit on it and you can try and spend a day or a practice session and you go, this song will be finished by the end of today. And me and Tom are a bit guilty of doing that. Like, he came around to my house and we sat down each with our laptops and Logic open, and we've got a new track that we are hoping to take in the studio at some point over the next few weeks or months. And we had everything but a chorus. And we were like, how hard can it be to just write? Like, we have the chords, we have various different riffs. How hard can it be to just write a vocal riff?
Yeah.
And we forced it, and we forced it, and we forced it, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then I had it in my head the other day when I was in the shower, and I was like, this could work. And then now I'm pretty sure I have the vocal riff. I wasn't thinking about it. It just, like, you have to take a step back from it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you try and force it and you try and squeeze a song out and try and make it what you want it to be, sometimes it's like kind of reluctant almost. I feel like songs are their own entities sometimes. You don't just sit down and write one and say, I'm going to write a song today, and it happens. Sometimes you've got to give it space, and sometimes you can just go, right, I'm going to write a song, and you write a song. Yeah. It's completely random, which probably means I'm not a very efficient songwriter. I think I can't control it, but it happens or it doesn't.
I just don't think there's yes, there's method behind it, but I think at the end of the day, like, you've just got to roll with it, and if you're not vibing from it, you can't force it, as you say. So no, it's good, man. I think it's exciting to hear that you guys are still creating, and you've got a lot of things going on. You've been doing a fair bit of PR and stuff at the moment, which is really cool. You're putting out getting ready for the releases of new music and stuff. So what's lined up then? Like, have you got you've got this track coming out, and then have you got anything lined up after that, or are you sort of just going to demo a few things and wait till studios time becomes available and that kind of thing? Or
It's kind of, yeah, it's something between the two. So we had in our heads that we were going to go in early May to do this song that me and Tom have been killing, and not in a good way, like been working ourselves crazy about it. But other things have popped up in the meantime. So we thought that was the track that was going to be next up, next ready, and going in the studio sometime in May, hoping to release it kind of over summer. But other things have other tracks have shown themselves to have more legs possibly. So we're not actually going to go in early May because we don't think we're quite ready with any of the tracks, but somehow over the process of writing that one track, we've ended up being in a position where we think maybe later on in summer, maybe June or July, we'll be able to take in 2 or 3 and then line those up. So we've had a couple of releases already this year in, like, I've no idea what months, but it was like maybe January and February or December and February, something like that. We were spacing them out quite nicely, and then we've got Marlone coming out on Friday, and
cheeky
then
plug.
it looks like there's going to be if I say it enough times, people it's how it works. But yeah, it's looking like there's now going to be maybe a couple of months gap, but after that we're probably going to have more releases than we were expecting. So we're somewhere between spacing them out nicely and how we expected to, and recording them in the timeline that we expected them to, and actually ending up now with a bit of a gap. After Marlone, we're probably not going to have anything out for a couple of months, but we're probably going to have more songs than we expected to drip out over the rest of the year. So we've kind of got more of a gap than we expected, and also a fuller release schedule than we were expecting at the start of the year. Somehow we've ended up with both those situations.
That works though. It's you've like you say, you can't force it. And if you sat on potentially what you feel is a more standout track, you want to be putting the energy into those, and if they're not quite there yet, and you want to invest a little bit more time in pre-production and that kind of thing, it's definitely worth doing. But yeah, still nonetheless, it's exciting times, so it's very cool. What was you planning on playing for your second track? Were you you going to save the new single for last, or are you doing that next, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll. The plan was to do Ghost in the middle, so that was the one that we chatted about a little bit with the most played, or the
top track,
kind of top track that what Spotify is calling the track to check out. So I was going to do that in the middle. Yeah.
Nice. I'd love to hear that, man. Let's. Should we jump into that, and then we'll do the quick fire round, and then hear the single and maybe talk a little bit about that.
Let's do it.
Until then, let's do this.
When I say jump, you say no. Your head has stopped telling you which way to go. And in a candlelight you can see that you're alone. Another sad soul in disguise as a ghost. You'll go to that dark road, and you'll take what they offer you. When you go to that dark place inside your mind, and you don't mind leaving because you stopped caring long ago. You don't mind seeing you're the last one standing here alone in the dark. She'll tell you that she never saw you as skin and bones, and she will realize that you never needed someone to take you home. You never needed someone to take you home. you're back. Like what we had was made out of fiberglass, and we cannot fix the cracks in the dead of night. You'll see that I'm not coming back, 'cause everything we built has faded into black. And you'll go to that dark room, and you'll take what they offer you. When you go to that dark place inside your mind, and you don't mind leaving because you stopped caring long ago. You don't mind seeing that you're the last one standing here alone in the dark. She'll tell you that she never saw you as skin and bones, and she will realize you never needed someone to take you home. You never needed someone to take you home. You never needed someone to take you home. You never needed someone to take you home.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
good work, man. Really enjoyed that.
Cheers.
So, shall we do the quickfire round?
100%.
Right, let's do it. I'll tell you. I mean, the previous times that I've done the quickfire round, it's slowly getting the name the not so quickfire round, because we always kind of get lost in conversation and generally just elaborate more on the answers and stuff like that. But we'll just see what happens. Anyways, it is what it is. We'll just make it work. One sec, man. I've got an intro for this one as well. Let's go. So, do you believe in ghosts?
No.
The last song you ever downloaded?
Oh, wow. I have no idea.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, no. I think it was something by Fleet Foxes.
Oh.
Because I remember thinking about this about a year later and thinking, I'm never going to download anything again. Because I'd just got like all the streaming platforms and stuff, and it was something they did, either an EP or a single. I got it on iTunes, and then yeah, I twigged about a year later that I was probably never going to download anything again.
Well,
So I
here's
think it's
here's probably something you might more likely know, because you. What was the last song you streamed then,
that.
or artist that you streamed?
MGMT. Which is a bit of a
Nice.
blast from the past, but yeah, I was
Yeah.
in the mood for it. I was driving
Oh
home
man, I
today
need to add
and
some MGMT to my playlist.
the
Actually,
sun
that's
came out and I slapped Electric Feel on just before I got home, so it would have been that.
brilliant. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility, definitely.
Favorite song of all time?
God only knows.
Okay, this is going to be a tough one, and I'll be interested to see if you know it. How many streams exactly has Shake had?
21,000. Already wrong.
Yeah,
Give me the first bit.
17. I messed
Oh,
up the numbers.
Okay. 17,426.
Ooh, 374.
Oh,
Nice.
that wasn't
Almost.
far
That
off.
wasn't too far bad. Nah, good effort. Have you got any tattoos?
No, not yet.
What? Oh no. Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is.
Kind of fit.
That's definitely the best answer. I wasn't expecting that.
She's musically she's all right as well. We came on stage at Gulliver's. We came on stage to one of her tracks because she
Yeah.
brought out an album, and I was like, "This song actually is really good."
She
I can't even remember
she,
what it was called. but-
she wrote loads of stuff with Justin Vernon from, I call him Bon Iver, but it's
okay,
Bon
fine. We'll go with that.
Iver, and it is Bon
Probably.
Iver. Bon Iver? I don't know. Whatever. Bon
Bonnie
Iver.
Bear.
But yeah, that's the first time recently I've had this question in the quickfire round since the start, and I've never actually really like spent a bit of time listening to Taylor Swift's music other than what's like played endlessly on the radio, if I ever listen to the radio, that is. But I took the time out to listen to that album, and it's absolutely immaculate. It's amazing.
It's
Couldn't
good,
believe
isn't
how
it?
bloody good it was.
It is very good.
Great album. I don't know if that's her latest album, or if something she
yeah.
released during the pandemic, or
I
I'm not
think
sure.
so. It sort of came into my consciousness a couple of months ago. I had a friend round the other day, and we've known each other for about 8 years now, and we both love all the same types of music. And we were talking about that album and the way that their vocals work well together, because I love it when Bon Iver or Justin Vernon uses his kind of bassy voice, because obviously so much of his early stuff was falsetto, and I think he's got such a rich voice, and it works really well with hers. And I was trying to explain this to my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, but Taylor Swift," and I was like, "Yeah, no, seriously, listen to it.
Yeah,
It's better than you would think."
I think she's probably one of the most underrated, overrated artists.
Yeah, everyone
if that
knows
makes
her,
any sense. Yeah,
but no one actually appreciates that she's kind of good at what
really
she
good
does.
at what she does. Yeah,
Yeah, she's got a good voice.
she's
and she actually writes good
extremely
songs, so-
talented, and also really good at marketing, or someone is. My understanding is she's got she's got her head screwed on, and she knows what she wants, and she knows that right, I'm going to do a pop banger now. Yeah, fire that one out. Right, okay, I'm going to do some really chilled country stuff. Do them now. Credit to her, man. I think that's amazing. But yeah. Anyway, that this is why the quickfire round.
It's not quickfire. at
Yeah,
all.
it's pretty averagely slow. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Nights in or nights out?
Is that even a choice these days? It kind of
Well,
is
it
again.
depends what Boris says.
I'm saying nights out for the novelty
Yeah,
that they are soon to be a thing again.
yeah. Gigs or streams?
Gigs.
Big festivals or intimate gigs?
I would love to have the actual ability to choose between these at the moment. I love intimate gigs, but the thing that I've missed most over lockdown is like the bigger side of things, and having the most people in the room as possible, the most people making as much noise as possible. So if you'd asked me a year ago, probably the intimate gig, but big festival.
Yeah, I think like a big show's like on the horizon now. We need to go mad, either at the show or performing at them, and just let loose, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I've got tickets to go to. It's called Vegan Camp Out, and there's like live music and like Russell Brand's doing a stand-up set, and there's all sorts of stuff going on, and I cannot actually wait to go, like, just to be in like a festival environment and just let loose, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Have you got any festivals? Have you got any festivals lined up for this year? Are you playing any, or are you going to any? Are you gonna?
Not really either. Somehow that we know of yet. So we know that a lot of festivals this year are kind of recycling last year's lineup. So we weren't really in a position to kind of do that many festivals last year or be in the running for them, because we were kind of recording and releasing rather than doing a lot of live stuff over summer. And then kind of we feel like we've missed the boat a little bit, because a lot of places have just gone with whoever they had lined up for last year.
Yeah.
And then in terms of going, I'm thinking of trying to get to a few, maybe Reading and Leeds. It depends whether it looks likely that they're actually going to happen. But yeah,
I think that's the other thing, isn't it? People are a little a little unsure about what's going on because some festivals are like getting pulled now. You know, like they were so close to just like everything's going ahead, and then it's just like
still on that line in it between happening and not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, won't we? I think I've run out of questions, anyways. So we'll leave the quick fire, the not so quick fire round. But you did really well there, mate. I think you got. I'd say you got 15 right. Well done.
Good. Oh, that's my high score.
Yeah. Great work. So you have got a new single coming out on Friday. This Friday coming. So 2 days time.
As in the day after tomorrow.
Exciting time. So it will be on all social media platforms, on Spotify, and you'll be sharing it out and all that kind of thing. Is there a video due for it, or are you just at the moment pushing
We've recorded a video.
Nice.
It's not due to be released on the same day as the single. I think we're lagging it behind by a couple of weeks.
Have you got a pre-save or anything?
Ready. We have pre-save links for all the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So if you go on any of our social media, it'll be somewhere in the last couple of posts we've done. There's probably like a link in bio type of thing. So if you were to go to our Instagram or Facebook, it'd kind of probably be in your face. If you like the sound of the song and you want to get it on Friday, appearing in your inbox, is that a
playlist?
Thing? I think
Spotify adds it to a playlist. On your own playlists and stuff, which helps the algorithm massively. The first 3 days to a week are the most important for artists to really heavily push their tracks. So if anyone's going to listen to the songs, it wants to be in that window of time. Stream it, the whole song. The worst thing you can do is like go, I'll just listen to like 30 seconds of it and then turn it off, you know, or whatever. Not that they would, but I just mean in general, like that is
because then
like
Spotify's like, this song
they didn't like
is
that,
up,
so,
but it's terrible, obviously, because people keep stopping it after half a minute.
The best thing, because some people would do that and then start it again, and you know, to try help it, but you know, to try fool the algorithm. But best thing to do is listen to it within the 3 days as many times as you can in full, and it massively helps. Like Spotify go, this is getting a bit of traction. Let's offer them a playlist and let's do this. And so if you are interested in checking it out, please do check it out on Friday. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, and then are you playing that one? You say you're playing that last?
Yeah, that's the one that I'll do last. So again, it's a bit of an older song. We had a demo version of it. It's not something we've written from scratch over lockdown, but it's completely changed. If you've ever heard any of the older versions of it, I don't really know if we kind of properly released them, but we had maybe something on SoundCloud or maybe something on YouTube. No, I don't think we had it on YouTube. So chances are you haven't heard it, but it's changed a lot. Well, you have, but don't tell anyone. But yeah, it's changed a lot since this old version. And the song, I always call it, it's our happy song about an unhappy time. So it's a breakup song, but it's our most uplifting song. I mean, it won't be. I am planning to do a kind of more stripped back version of it. But when you hear it, the vibe that we were kind of going for is like an uplifting, kind of driven, anthemic type of song. So it's supposed to kind of make you feel good. But if you listen to the lyrics, then you're like, maybe this guy was a bit sad when he wrote it.
I like that. Though. I think that's a really cool way of doing it. Like putting it kind of mixes it up a little, and I think it's an interesting way of writing. But yeah, I think people are going to really like this track, and it's exciting to hear it come out and stuff. So you should be excited, and you should be looking forward to hopefully thousands of people streaming it over the next couple of days. That's the plan, isn't it?
Thanks. Hopefully more than 17,426.
No, 17,374. Come on, man.
Still not what it is. If enough people listen to it between now and the end of the show, I will be right, and that'll get me a bonus point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'll be 16 out of 15.
Yeah. So should we hear the track, man? We are going to be wrapping up the show pretty soon, so I want to make sure we get you, get you to play this song. So should we hear this from you and then just wrap up the show and any final words?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool. By the way, as well, if anyone's new here in the comments and would like to subscribe to the channel, it helps me. I do this every single Wednesday, and Yeah, I have stalled for long enough. He is now tuned.
Smashed it.
Thanks.
Professional. Right. So this is Marlone, and like I said, if you go on our social medias, then you'll find a link to pre-save it if you like it. If you don't, it would still help us anyway. So this is Marlone. So that man yesterday, and he was there for you. So that man yesterday, and I saw him care for you. I'll be there for you. And I'll see you another day, and I will care for you. And the background tells you cheers. Thanks for listening to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good work. I thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show tonight, man, and I really appreciate you singing your songs in a stripped back form. I think it's nice to hear them like that, but obviously it'd be cool to have you and the full band potentially come to the studio and do like a full mashings sometime down the line when the pandemic allows us to. But yeah, I'd love to
definitely. That sounds great.
Bottle up that energy and put that out.
Yeah,
in the world
definitely
as well.
sound different.
But I do like the acoustic vibe as well. So great work tonight, mate.
Thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
And any final words? Anything you'd like to plug? Or anything? I know you've got a Manchester show coming up as well. You mentioned that. You want to do a shout out for that because you've rescheduled it a few times, you say?
Yeah, we've had different dates, we've had different venues, but the current plan, and to be honest with how far in the future it is, it kind of looks like it should go ahead. So we're planning to play Breadshed in October, which would be a headline show. It'd be our biggest gig yet because I think it's a good few hundred people capacity. The support bands look like they're going to be really good as well. So yeah, I think it'd be a really good night. So it's still a long way off. It's October, but it'll be good fun.
Planning for the future, man. Definitely. I think that's exciting times, and you'll have some new singles out as well by then. But yeah, nonetheless, people need to go check out your new song on Friday, and all your other stuff as well. Your YouTube channel.
Yeah, get those views up.
Get those views up.
Very
I'm
little.
going to head over there after this and give Shake a watch, because I've not seen the video for it, so it'd be nice to see it, man. But yeah,
Ghost's
once again,
got one as well. Shake and Ghost, they're good videos.
cool. I'm going to check them out. Once again, man, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang out with me and do this. And I look forward to sort of doing it again sometime down the line.
Sounds good. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, man. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on tonight's stream. I do this every single Wednesday. I have a new guest every Wednesday, and yeah, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it tonight. It was good. And as Josh said, please go check out his track, which is coming out on Friday. And what else? His gig at the Bread Shed in October. My memory's bad, and he literally just said it. I'm pretty sure it's October. Yeah, he's nodding. That's fine. And yeah, so yeah, check out the socials, pre-save the link, and yeah, I think that's it. That's all I'm going to waffle on about. Once again, thank you so much for the continued support, and if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Good night.